Peace and blessings, beautiful people. Peace and blessings. This is Goddess Imani, and welcome to this episode of Sacred Love Lessons. Today we are exploring the secret to finding yourself. This episode is about unlocking who you really are and uncovering the foundation of sovereignty, freedom, and the spiritual frequency hopping journey. When you discover this secret, you gain a reference point. You no longer search outward for direction. Instead, you begin looking inward and activating your inner compass that has always been present. Each time you shift frequency, your compass strengthens. It guides you toward alignment and into freedom with clarity. The spiritual frequency hopping journey is rooted in this foundation. With this inner knowing, every hop moves you closer to sovereignty, where you live with inner authority over your energy, your choices, and your presence. From this foundation, we step into the secret that reveals how to live with clarity and freedom every day. But before we start, let's take a deep breath to ground our energy. Inhale, exhale. The primary frequency key is who am I? Who am I? This key forms the foundation for every step of the spiritual frequency hopping journey. When you ask the question, who am I? You begin a process of self-discovery that reveals the truth of your essence. This question carries power because it brings your frequency and self-awareness back to what has always been present. It helps you release layers of expectation and distraction, and it points you inward. The inward focus is where your authority lives. It is where you reconnect with your sovereignty and freedom. The question, who am I, is not a one-time exercise. It is a daily practice. Every time you ask it, you allow deeper levels of truth to rise. Each answer becomes a reference point for your choices, energy, and direction in life. The who am I key matters because it creates alignment. If you move through life with no connection to this question, your choices may feel uncertain or scattered. When you center this frequency key, you move from clarity. You begin to live with a sense of inner authority that does not rely on outside approval. This frequency key is also essential for freedom. Freedom is the ability to live from your essence. When you know who you are, you do not need to chase an identity. You recognize that you are already whole. Each hop you make becomes easier because your foundation is solid and stable. By working with this frequency key, you also strengthen your confidence. You speak with more certainty. You build relationships that reflect your true values, and you live from a place that resonates with your authenticity. These shifts expand your life in practical ways. You have more energy, more peace, and more direction. So how do you apply this frequency key, who am I, to your everyday life? Applying the who am I frequency key does not require dramatic changes. It requires consistent focus and attention in daily life. So here are several ways you can begin. Morning check-in. As soon as you wake up, take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Place your hand over your heart and ask, who am I today? Allow the answer to rise. Sometimes it may be a word like strength, clarity, or joy. Other times it may be a feeling. Begin the day anchored in that frequency awareness. Then, each time you face a choice, big or small, pause and ask, does this align with who I am? Does this align with who I am? This is your choice point. and it brings your inner compass online. You begin to select opportunities that match your essence. Then, in the evening, embrace evening reflection. At the end of the day, ask, how did I honor who I am today? How did I honor who I am today? This builds accountability and reminds you of your progress. Take a moment to celebrate the way you honored yourself today. When you integrate this practice into your life, you create a rhythm of self-awareness. Take a moment to celebrate the way you honored yourself today. For me, I do this every day, always look in the mirror, and I say to myself, Imani, I love you. I see you, I hear you, I honor you. I see you, I hear you, I honor you. And then I begin to remind myself of things that I did that day, things that I accomplished, the way that I stood in integrity. It could be something as small as not having coffee or not eating candy or anything like that, keeping my word to myself. Saying that, hey, I'm going to do something, setting the intention, and then following through with that intention. And it could be, I'm going for a walk today, and then actually doing that, right? So I celebrate myself every day. When you integrate this practice into your life, you create a rhythm of self-awareness. The question, who am I, becomes a tool you carry everywhere. You can use this no matter where you find yourself, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what's going on. You can always ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? Or does this situation reflect who I am? Does this relationship reflect who I am? Does this food, does this drink, do these clothes, it doesn't matter what it is. Does this car, does this home, does it reflect who I am? And then after you have that frequency awareness, you can make choices accordingly. So I have a ritual for you for the Who Am I frequency key. It's a simple but powerful ritual that you can practice. This is a weekly heart-gazing ritual. Stand in front of the mirror, look directly into your own eyes. Then place your hand over your heart. Take 3 slow, steady breaths. Inhale, exhale. And do that 3 times. And that's just so you can anchor into your frequency, you can calm your nervous system, and you can center into your heart chakra. That's why we do the breathing. Okay. So after you've taken the 3 slow, steady breaths, ask yourself aloud, who am I? Who am I? Then allow your first answer to come forward. Whatever that is, speak it aloud to yourself. For example, I am clarity, or I am strength, or I am peace. Or it could be something surface level, like the role you play in your family, your career, your relationships. It could be anything, right? But whatever comes up, say that aloud and make note of that. Repeat the process 3 times, each time speaking what arises. And then to take it a step further, I highly recommend that you write it down. After you go through this process, write it down. This will help you to get clear and to see your progress in your growth. Now, when I first started this exercise, I started off with surface level things like I am a mom, I am an attorney, I am a teacher, I am a life coach, a clarity coach, right? I was saying those different things of what I was, but it was real surface level. You know, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, all those kind of things. So then as time went on, then I got deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, sometimes I would even incorporate phrases that I had heard from my spiritual mentor, my spiritual mom. And one of those phrases was, I am the perfect presence of the Creator's love. I learned that from her, and I would say those things. I am the perfect presence of the Creator's love. But then as I dove deeper and deeper into me and just allowed my inner authority to speak, more things began to come up. Eventually, okay, going through this process, and when I tell you I've done this every day for years now, every day, eventually what came up for me was I am. That's it. No, nothing else. I am. And that's where I am today. I am. We'll talk about that in another episode. So you want to close the ritual by saying, I honor who I am today. There is no right or wrong way to perform this ritual. You can change it. You can make it your own, whatever works for you. This ritual works because the act of looking into your own eyes strengthens self-recognition. Speaking the answers aloud anchors them into your body and your energy field. And over time, the heart-gazing ritual builds confidence and reinforces your sovereignty. So I'll leave you with this final thought. The Who Am I frequency key is the foundation of the entire spiritual frequency hopping journey. Every other key rests upon this one. When you consistently return to the question, who am I? You strengthen your foundation of sovereignty. This key ensures that every hop you make carries stability and clarity. It prevents confusion by giving you a constant reference point. You live from inner authority over your energy, choices, and presence. The secret to finding yourself begins here. When you embrace this frequency key, you unlock who you really are and you create a foundation rooted in freedom. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sacred Love Lessons. I am the universe. Now what? Wherever you are in the world, don't forget to click that like, comment, and subscribe, and share with your family and friends. And until we speak again, be the light.